up, y'all? This is Mike reporting in for duty. Today we're sitting here with Simon Dunmore from Defected. Well, I'll let him introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Simon Dunmore from Defected Records. Defected Records is from London, but we're in Amsterdam.
Okay, I didn't know that. There we go. I was looking on the internet for information about you guys. I mean, I've heard the music from Defected for like as long as I can remember, actually. But I saw that you guys did a lot of parties in Asia. I believe Singapore and Jakarta, right?
Yeah, we've toured pretty much all over Asia. So we've done dates in Manila, in Seoul, in Tokyo, Osaka, Singapore. I mean, pretty much everywhere there's a party, we're happy to be there.
Well, so what I was wondering about, because I grew up in Holland, but I was also born in Taiwan, so I actually went to both sides of the world. And I was really curious, like from your professional point of view, what do you think is the biggest difference in the electronic music environment between Asia and the West?
Wow. Well, I mean, Asia's obviously a pretty expansive continent. So, you know, in places like Korea and Japan and probably Taiwan, everyone is very up on their technology. You know, they're very internet savvy, so they find out what they need to do, what they want to find out about very quickly over the internet. And you find when you go to those places that the crowd is very knowledgeable. You get great reaction to records, and people ask you questions. You're like, wow, how do you know about that? And you know, the internet is an amazing vehicle for connecting people and for people for finding out about what they want to. Some of the other territories are, you know, not adopting things quite so quickly, but they know that they love their dance music, and you know, our job is to go out there and introduce, you know, new territories and new clubs and new clubbers to our sound, what we do, and the DJ producers associated with the label. So you know, it's a combination of the knowledgeable and the informed, and then a little bit of an education and trying to make people aware.
So do you think that the people in Asia know less about electronic music than the people in the West?
Absolutely not. No, I think that they everybody likes to go out and party. So there are people that like to do so in a really informed way, and there's some people that just like to go out and party. So some of the best gigs that we do are absolutely in Asia. And I think that some of the people that attend those events are much more open-minded and less cynical than maybe people that are in Europe. So I think it's just different, you know. You can't really compare the territories because the cultures of the people and the environments are so radically different that it's just different.
So because if I'm in Holland, right, I always see like so many different kind of labels. There are so many labels here, so many artists here, so many DJs, producers. Pretty much everywhere you go now, you run into someone that says, hey, I'm a DJ, I'm a producer, I'm a label, whatever, right? So, but in Asia, I feel that that's still not developing as well, or it's not developing as good as it is here in the West. So the question is, what do you think the people in Asia need to do to bring out their sound more internationally?
Wow, okay. You know, the thing is I mean, you know, it's a really, really tough question. I mean, I don't understand the culture of people enough across the board in Asia to be able to answer that question. I know that when kids are growing up today, they look for opportunities, and they look for the opportunities where they can be cool. And you know, and I think if you're a DJ or you're a musician or you're a sports person, I think it gives you the opportunity to, you know, to make a successful career, but in a cool way. Not everybody goes on to be successful of it. So, you know, so if you're a young kid in high school in Europe, you know, you want to be a DJ, you want to be a musician, because it's a way of you know, bettering yourself, and it's easily achievable. You know, you can buy a computer, you can buy a laptop, you can buy music programming software, you can make tracks. If the tracks go on to do well, you can then DJ, and you can look cool in front of your mates and to girls, and you know, you can be the man. I think in Asia, maybe people look to sport. You know, certainly in India, I remember when I went to India for the first time, I went through a park and all I could see was kids playing cricket. You know, and that was their way of being cool and going on to be successful. So, you know, as people get more access to technology and more access to computers and music software and more aware of how it works, maybe that producing music will become more popular and more prevalent in Asia. That's the only thing I can think of, because you know, there are a few people making music in Asia that go on to do quite well. I had a meeting last night with a guy called Hayes, and he lives in Kuala Lumpur, and he's Malaysian, and he made records on Defected in 2001. He has a big record at the moment, a track called Around, which he produced with a guy called Noir, who's from Denmark, and he's making it work. So maybe he can be an inspiration for kids and musicians and songwriters and vocalists around Asia.
Well, so let me ask you a hypothetical question, right? Imagine you're a young Asian kid and you want to release your record, you want to start your label. How would you do it? Everything goes.
How would I do it? I mean, you know, the thing is about dance music is that because of everything that I just said, that you can buy a laptop, that you can buy music programming software, it means there is a lot of music, you know, and there's a lot of you know, music that all sounds very similar because everybody uses the same loops, the same music software and whatever. So you have to work really hard to make your music better than everybody else's. So whether that means that you study music, that you understand that music is an emotional thing and not just a mechanical thing, it gives you the opportunity. Once you've made a great record, you then have to work really hard to make sure that it's noticed. And you need to get lucky. It's not just about working hard. You know, there are people that work really hard. There are people that work great records, make great records, but they don't sometimes get lucky. And you need a bit of everything going on in there. You know, and then you have to pray. There's no quick fix these days.
So yeah, well, I was thinking about the stuff you said about being passionate about creating your music, right? And in the last, I don't know, 5 to 10 years, the technology have been pushing electronic music forward so fast. You know, for example, like before we had to actually buy vinyl, and now we have stuff like Tractor. Do you think that because it's so easy now to make music, that the quality of the music has declined?
No, I think there's always been bad music. Undoubtedly, there's always been bad music. But I think it's easier to make bad music now. So there's definitely a lot of bad music around. But that's a good thing. It gives more people opportunity. You know, more people have the chance to make records. More people have the chance to become DJs. Ultimately, the people that put the time in to make sure, like I just mentioned, that they understand the process of making music. You know, they can add chords and keyboards, you know, horns, guitars, vocals, and whatever. Something that just elevates their record above everybody else's. But you know, that's the same as, like I mentioned, sport earlier. The people that practice after school for 3 or 4 hours sometimes go on to be great footballers, or you know, great athletes and whatever. You don't get nothing for nothing these days. You've got to put the time in.
So passion and work hard and believe in what you do, right? Okay. I have a small game I like to play. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just randomly say a word, and I will hope that you can just say the first thing that pops up in your mind. Okay? Okay, the first one, of course, music.
Emotion, passion, sex.
I like that answer. Okay, second one, the Rolling Stones or the Beatles?
Rolling Stones. Beatles are way too squeaky clean for me.
So you like a raw, right?
Keith Richards and Mick Jagger were dudes back in the day, you know?
Definitely, definitely. Okay, the other one, turntablism or DJ software?
Turntablism, because it's just more visual and you know that the person is doing it for real. With DJ software, you never know if someone's faking it.
Okay, I agree. Let's see. Last but not least, the future.
It's bright. Future's bright.